Okay. 皆さん、こんにちは。I'd like to welcome you all and thank everyone for joining us. Before introducing the speakers for today, let me briefly introduce Education USA. Education USA is a U.S. Department of State network of over 400 advising centers in more than 170 countries and territories. The network promotes U.S. higher education to students worldwide by offering accurate, comprehensive, and current information about opportunity to study at accredited post-secondary institutions in the United States.
Recording in progress.
We have 6 Education USA centers in Japan at the U.S. Embassy and Consulate. Education USA Tokyo hosts today's session. If you have any questions, please contact Education USA near you. So now, please join me in welcoming speakers for today. We have Georgia State University and Virginia Wesleyan University. So Virginia Wesleyan University will first talk. So I will pass it on to Mandy now.
Hi, everyone. My name is Mandy Reinig, and I am the Director of Global Engagement at Virginia Wesleyan University. And I'm very happy to be here actually in Japan for the very first time and having a wonderful experience, and here to talk to you a little bit about honors colleges and programs in general, and a little bit about the honors college and program we have at Virginia Wesleyan University. So before I get started, just to give you a little context, because I know we have 2 different universities represented today. Virginia Wesleyan University is the premier coastal university for Virginia, and it is a liberal arts and sciences institution. It was founded in 1961, so especially when you think of institutions abroad, it's a pretty young institution. And it literally sits on the border of Norfolk and Virginia Beach. So we kind of actually have 2 addresses sometimes. So it's a nice mix of 2 different types of environments. And because of that, there are tons of opportunities for internships, undergraduate research, and being able to have networking opportunities with lots of different corporations and organizations because of that. And we're one of 147 honors colleges, and we're literally the only one that has an environmental focus, which we're going to talk a little bit about a little bit later. We also have a unique living and learning community with a global residency requirement for our honors college, which again, we'll talk about a little bit later. But to give you a little more context, let's talk a little bit about what the typical admissions process looks like before we get into what an honors college admission process looks like. So when you apply to a U.S. institution, you typically have to submit some sort of application that includes demographic information, and you may have to answer some short answer questions about yourself. They also will require a transcript in English that showcases what you've taken and the equivalent U.S. grade. You may have to submit some sort of English language scores, which could be the IELTS, TOEFL. A lot of schools now are accepting Duolingo as well. So the institution will let you know what score you need and what tests they accept. And some institutions may require the SAT or the ACT scores, which are typically what U.S. high schools require students to take, usually about their junior year, and sometimes they retake in their senior year. So when you're going to apply for an honors college, the criteria is a little bit different. And this would be in addition to your typical application materials that you would submit to an institution. And usually this is submitted after you submit your initial application. So typically you need at least a 3.5 or higher on a US grading scale, which is typically out of a 4.0. They usually look for some sort of extracurricular activities, which could be volunteering, sports, doing clubs and organizations, even work experience, basically showcasing other things besides academics. Usually they require recommendation letters, and typically they want academic recommendation letters. So from your professors or tutors, anything like that that can speak to your academic ability. And then usually there are essays involved, and they'll give you the word count or page count, and they're going to ask you, how do you see yourself fitting into the program, and what would you bring to the program? So they want to know how you will be a good fit for that program. And some institutions, again, may require that SAT score, and usually they want at least a 1300 or higher, or they may want the ACT score of a 26 or higher. And many institutions may require a campus interview. Now they realize that being an international student makes it difficult to come to campus. So a lot of times they will do virtual interviews that are very similar to the process that a student would do when they come on campus. So it may be a panel talking to some faculty members, and then maybe some staff members such as the dean or whoever oversees the program, and that is also part of the selection process. So there are honors colleges and honors programs. What's the difference? An honors college, typically you will take honors courses and honors seminars, which are a little more intensive. You will usually have a capstone course, which is kind of your culminating experience at the end of your program, which usually is a larger research project. There's usually special residential spaces for students, and they typically offer larger scholarships, a lot of times up to 3/4 or full tuition scholarships. And you'll usually apply as part of the application process, so when you're first entering the institution. And there's typically special programming for students that may include special study abroad courses, research opportunities, internship opportunities, etc. Now, honors programs, most do not require special courses or seminars. There's usually no capstone course, and you typically apply after you're already attending, so after you're already at the school. And there's usually either lower to no scholarship offerings, but they will have some of that special programming for students that may include special study abroad courses, those research opportunities, networking, internship opportunities, etc. All right, so a little bit about the benefits. Why would you want to participate and be part of an honors college? Well, of course, the biggest one, potential tuition scholarships, right? US institutions are very expensive, so having either 3/4 or all of your tuition paid for is not a bad deal. And of course, a lot of them will give you guaranteed housing at some institutions because they have special housing set aside for honor students. So you don't have to worry about fighting for specific types of housing. And it generally is a little bit nicer housing. You have access again to those special programs. For example, you have access to go see special speakers, go to special events, and you get access to different types of excursions. Could be a Broadway show that comes to your area, whatever it happens to be. And then there's study abroad, research, and internship opportunities, as well as just other networking opportunities. And a lot of times when you're part of an honors college or honors program, they have early access and admission to master's programs with their connections that they have. So what that means is if you meet the criteria, you're automatically accepted into that master's program even before you graduate. And then you get to network with professors and students across a variety of fields of study, just because the opportunities presented to you. So a little bit about Virginia Wesleyan and our honors program in particular. So the Marlin community is made up of 1,600 students. 59% of them are female. 27% of them come from out of state, and that includes international. And we're very diverse, with about more than 40% of students coming from underrepresented populations, which includes different racial, ethnicity, socioeconomic backgrounds. 80% of our students live on campus, so majority of them live and learn in the same place. And we're also ranked among the top 40 for ethnic diversity in the country. We also have 40 plus majors, 31 minors, and 19 pre-professional programs. Pre-professional programs are things like pre-med school, pre-veterinary school, physical therapy, those types of things. And we're a little bit different in that we emphasize problem solving, creative thinking, communication skills. And because of that, we are a 4-credit system versus a 3-credit system. And what that means is we have an additional credit for students to be able to get more experience in those emphasis areas. So they get more time to do research, to come up with theories and become more creative thinkers and develop their communication skills. Our class sizes are very small, most of them about 15 students. And we do have a learning center that's free to support students with tutors, a writing studio with professional writing tutors, and all of the support that a student may need. Now, our Baton Honors College, some of the distinctive features of it is that we only accept 40 first year or new to the institution students every fall. 20 of them receive a full scholarship, full tuition scholarship, and 20 of them receive nearly 3/4 of their tuition paid for through a scholarship. They also are guaranteed a residential living environment in their own honors village. And now the program has a global residency requirement where students are required to study abroad for a semester. And their scholarship works to help cover the costs of tuition, same as it does on campus. And there are grants to help cover airfare for them. Their honors-based general education courses, they do have a senior capstone course, as we were talking about earlier. They create electronic portfolio, which you can sort of think of that as an electronic resume. They have civic engagement opportunities, which you can see a picture of there on the top right. So volunteering opportunities, and they do co-curricular activities together and go to different events and networking, and all of that, the Honors College supports so that they can do them a bit easier. And we, again, have that housing available for students. So typically you have 5 people living in a townhouse rather than a traditional first year dorm that you see for a lot of American institutions. So there are 3 single rooms in the space and 1 double. They have 2 full bathrooms and a full kitchen, it also includes laundry facilities. They have a programming council for just the Honors College that creates activities for them to do, including going to minor league baseball games and Broadway shows that come to the area, things like that. So they get to do these social events and cultural activities. And then they do recreational activities, different kinds of sports, things like ultimate frisbee and other types of fun things. And then, of course, they do service opportunities like you saw in the picture before, where they go out in the community and give back as well. And they're required to do a certain number of volunteer hours before they graduate. So as I mentioned, for ours is an honors college versus the honors program. So there are some required courses that students have to take to graduate. And those include the 4 courses listed there that they take pretty much 1 every year. They take them as a cohort. And then they have to do 300 to 400 level honors electives. And then, of course, being an honors college, they have to keep a good GPA. So they have to keep a 3.0 on a 4-point scale or higher to remain in all of the honors college courses, to remain in the program. So we expect, high standards if you're going to be in this program. And because of that, 90% of graduates are accepted to graduate school or offered full-time jobs before they graduate, which is a very big deal because a lot of students don't necessarily know what they're doing before they graduate. And 90% of our students do. They already have a plan even before they receive their diploma. And the application process, as I mentioned, is one where you apply, do a general application first, and that's free to do. And then you apply for the Honors College through their website, which is listed there. We generally have 3 deadlines. The first one was, of course, in the fall. And then we have 2 more deadlines, followed by an interview process, which would be virtual for international students. So there's still plenty of time to submit an application. And the Honors College application is also free as well. Here's just some contacts you can reach out to specifically for our enrollment area and our honors college. And then we have a great group of students who are Japanese who have created an Instagram account where they post their day. They're not sponsored by the institution, and they post everything they're doing in Japanese about their life. They have about a day in the life for students. They'll tell you what to bring from Japan because we don't have it and all of these kind of fun things like that. It's a really great account to follow. And then, of course, we have the Baton Honors College account as well, where they kind of show what they do as well. All right, thank you. And I think we're going to turn it over to Jenna and her team now to talk a little bit about their program.
Hi, everyone. Give me 1 second. I'm having a little bit of technical difficulties.
So maybe while Gina is preparing to start her presentation, there are.
Okay, I actually just got it pulled up. I'm so sorry.
Oh, it's okay. Just like we already got some questions, so let me just read out for the recording purpose. So first question, are many colleges still using SAT, ACT test optional? And the answer was, there are quite a few institutions that have test optional admissions. Each institution or US states have different options. You should check each university for their admission requirements. So Gina, let me know when you're ready.
Yes, is it all right if I share my screen? Is it all right if I share my screen?
Yes, please do.
Okay. All right. And can you see my screen right now?
We are seeing your whole screen, not the.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are seeing your slide.
Okay. All right. So hi, everyone. My name is Jenna Miller. I'm a senior admissions counselor at Georgia State University in Atlanta, Georgia. Joining me is Peace Lee, who's the associate director of our international admissions team. Peace, did you want to introduce yourself?
Yes, absolutely. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Peace Lee. I'm Associate Director for International Admissions. It's my pleasure to be here tonight. I apologize for the technical difficulties. So today, me and Jenna will bring Georgia State University's Honors College info to you. At the end, I hope if you have any questions, please just put in the chat. I will support Jenna during the presentation, answer them questions as well. Thank you.
All right, so just a little bit of an introduction for Georgia State. We are a university in Atlanta, Georgia, which is the southeastern region of the United States. It's a really beautiful city. We've got a lot of really amazing things down here. We have the busiest international airport in the entire world. We also have lots of local attractions, including the Georgia Aquarium, the World of Coca-Cola, the Atlanta Zoo, and so much more. So we have a lot of things in our Metro Atlanta area, as well as in the suburbs. We are one of the largest schools in Georgia. We have, I'm sorry, is this in the way? Let's see if I can minimize that. Okay. So we are one of the largest public universities in Georgia, and Atlanta is the largest city in the southeast region of the US. So we have a lot of really, really great things going for us where we are. We are nationally recognized with over 250 degree programs with 11 colleges, as well as online options. We have internships and career opportunities in Atlanta, and we have over 70 international governments with consular offices in Atlanta that we do have connections with. So we do a lot with international businesses and career opportunities as well. Of course, there is a photo of the Georgia Aquarium. It's really fun. We are the #1 best public university for undergraduate research, and we are the 3rd most innovative institution in the nation, and #6 with best first-year experiences. And if you are interested in undergraduate research opportunities, we are one of the nation's fastest growing in terms of research opportunities. And we are #9 as the top performer for social mobility with over 54,000 students, which is the largest university in Georgia. Some of the colleges and schools that we have at GSU include our nursing school, as well as our public health, or School of Public Health, I'm sorry, which are really, really popular options because we do have a lot of students, or I'm sorry, I think 100% of the students who graduate from our nursing school do find career opportunities after graduation. We also have the Honors College, which, like Wesleyan, Virginia, it is an honors college. It is not an honors program. It is its own school with its own policies and admissions requirements. Our College of Business is also very good, and College of Law is one of the, it's growing to be one of the best in the state as well. And we have more than 400 clubs and organizations for academics, 31 fraternities and sororities, as well as 15 divisional athletic teams. So a little bit about the Honors College specifically. It is a very competitive program. We take the top 10% of the admitted freshmen. So students that the Honors College typically looks for are those with really, really strong test scores, strong school performance, extracurriculars, things that you would want to brag about on any application, or any application really, are things that the Honors College is going to want to look at. There are a lot of opportunities that you get once you are admitted into the Honors College, including there are paid assistantships available to honors students, as well as the Honor Scholarship, which is the Presidential Scholarship, which is a full scholarship. There's also study abroad programs, as well as undergraduate research opportunities that are specific to the Honors College. So how to apply to the Honors College is you would go to the Common Application, which is just commonapp.org, and you would add Georgia State University as one of your colleges and begin the application for Georgia State University. In the Common Application itself, there's going to be a question on Georgia State's application that says, are you interested in the Honors College? You would select yes, and then it would provide a prompt right below that question that will allow you to choose an essay prompt, which is 350 to 500 words. So it's not a really long essay, but it is, you're going to put some thought into it. And there are 3 essay questions that you can choose from that you would write for, and then you would submit that along with your application to Georgia State University. I also wanted to talk a little bit about Perimeter College, which is our more affordable option for Georgia State University. This also is available to honor students as well, but at a more financially conscious choice. So we have 5 campuses for Perimeter College around the Atlanta metro area. And this is really for a pathway program. So you would come to Perimeter College to earn an associate degree for 2 years. And then a lot of students transition into our Atlanta campus. So students who wanted to start out in Georgia and at Georgia State University with a lower cost of tuition usually start at Perimeter College, and then they come to our Atlanta campus to finish out their last 2 years. And there's a lot of really, really good benefits for attending Perimeter College. For instance, there are smaller class sizes. So Atlanta, you may take one of the core classes in the Atlanta campus, and there might be 50 students in your class with you. You would have a much smaller class size if you choose to attend Perimeter College. So it's a lot more face-to-face interaction with the professor itself. So when you attend these classes, you're more likely to be able to get to know the professor and have more conversations with them. So it's a better learning environment, I think. As I said, it is more affordable. It is approximately, and please correct me if I'm wrong on this, but I think it's a third of the cost of the Atlanta campus tuition. And it is an easy transition into the Atlanta campus. So if you do want to come to the Atlanta campus and you aren't entirely sure about the Perimeter College, I really recommend checking out our website and going through the different campuses, because they are beautiful and they're really, really good environments to learn in, and you do end up at the Atlanta campus in the end as well. So we talked about how to apply to the Honors College with that common application. So this is kind of covering this again. It would be through the common application for incoming freshman students. You would select Georgia State as the college that you would want to apply to. And in the application itself, you can select yes to joining the Honors College. We are SAT, ACT test optional for students with a 3.4 GPA recalculated and above. But if you do want to submit those test scores, they are beneficial if you have a really high test score, especially if you're applying to the Honors College as well. We also require proof of English language proficiency. So if you have not attended a US school or a US accredited school, we will require IELTS or TOEFL or MET. There is a full list of English proficiency tests that you can take that are listed on our website as well. And yeah, we would need official transcripts as well from your high school, and those do have to come from an official source. They can be sent by your school counselor or your teachers through the common application or to the international admissions email address, which is adminternational@gsu.edu, which will be posted at the end of this presentation as well. So some of the really important things to remember is the application deadlines. November 15th is our priority deadline for the fall semester. So if you wanted to come in for the fall 2024 semester, you would have to apply by November 15th of fall 2023. And this is also the Honors College application deadline. So while we do have later application deadlines for GSU, if you want to get into the Honors College, you must apply by November 15th. So that is a very important date to remember. And again, these are all listed on our website as well. So here is a breakdown of the costs for Georgia State University. For the four-year program, which is our Atlanta campus, it's approximately $22,300, and this is for tuition. So this does not include fees, room and board. So it's going to be a little bit more than that. It's going to end up around 30,000, give or take, depending on your specific circumstances. And like I said, Perimeter College, which is our two-year associate degree pathway programs, these are going to be much, much cheaper. The tuition for a semester is going to be $8,632. And this also does not include fees or whatever living accommodations that you do end up having. And you can also find these costs listed on our website as well. So everything that I've been saying is also available on our website. And again, if you can't find these things, you are more than welcome to send us an email at adminternational@gsu.edu. And we do have scholarships available. So in addition to that Honors College Scholarship, which is the presidential scholarship, we have the Campus Atlanta Scholarship, which is a scholarship available to incoming international students, And what this does is allow students who are international to pay the in-state tuition rate, which cuts a lot of costs back. I think it's a really, really beneficial thing. And there is no application required for the Campus Atlanta Scholarship. All incoming international freshman students are automatically considered for this scholarship. So you do not have to apply. As soon as you apply to GSU, you are automatically considered for this scholarship. Now, the Honors College Scholarship is a separate application, and that is available on the website as well. So you do have to apply for that one. And here is the email address that I have referenced several times. It is adminternational@gsu.edu. If you have any questions or concerns about the application process or admission requirements, you are more than welcome to send us an email or reach out to us on our social media accounts. And if you have specific honors college related questions as well, the email address for that is going to be honors@gsu.edu. So we can answer most of the general questions, but if you have honors specific questions, we recommend that you go directly to honors@gsu.edu, or you can go to their website and find this information as well. Peace, did you want to add anything?
Yes. I just wanted to add a couple of things. As honors college students, we call them the cream of the crop, which is the best of the best. Every year, we admit about 7%. So Georgia State University receives about 30,000 applications every year. About 7% students will be eligible to be considered for the honors college. So we pretty much admit for the whole year 250, the most, between 200 and 250, depending on the pool. So the benefits are every admitted honors student, regardless international or domestic, will be guaranteed for a scholarship. So if it's international or out of state, the students will be guaranteed, like Jana said, the out of state tuition waiver. So that basically brings your tuition, if you register 15 credit, less than 15 credit hour, 12 credit hour, which is a full time for international student, the tuition is about 24,000. And with fees and other expenses, so your I-20 total amount you're looking at is about 35,000. And with the scholarship, that is up to from if you're getting a 50% or 100%. So you are looking at your I-20 amount being 22,000. That's included tuition, fees and housing and everything. That is for honors college students. Also, after 1 year, the honors students will be eligible to apply for our fellowship. So the fellowship is additional $10,000. about 40% of the students receive that funding. And also they have the London program, the DC program, all the interns study abroad. And also the students will have unique housing. I think this is very similar between the two institutions Mandy just mentioned. And we have special honors housing as well. Honor on our campus has their own building. They have their own classroom, their own study hall, and each of them will be equipped with their computer. And also their floor is right under the president's suite. So they have a lot of access. Many of our honor students actually are parts of our 1913 cabin, which is a student government providing all the student feedback, advisement to our president directly. So there are a lot more on-campus working opportunity because we are in downtown Atlanta. As you know, there are more than 50 Fortune 500 companies have their headquarters in Atlanta. Atlanta is constantly ranked the top 10 for job placement for up-and-coming cities. So this is the largest metropolitan in southeast of the United States. So I just want to bring some highlights of the Honors College to you all. And also we have a wonderful international admissions team. So when the students, especially, so I personally in charge of the East Asia territory. So from Japan, Korea, China, Mongolia, and also the Southeast Asian countries. So that is under me and my assistant director's territory. So if there's any questions, I will be personally answering them and also do the in-house evaluation. Even though I study Japanese, but it's pretty much all gone for the past 20 years. But I do have a team that do in-house evaluations. You do not need to go external to pay for a evaluation, regardless you are coming from which institution in Japan. So I hope that provide you with some insight of what Georgia State and how welcoming we are. If you have any questions, please do reach out to us via social media or email or through EducationUSA. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So now we will move on to the Q&A session. So we already got some questions answered already, but let me quickly read out the questions already answered. And if anyone wants to add anything, please just jump in. So we already covered the first question. So the second question. Around my local area, there are a few opportunities for me to volunteer. Is the volunteer experience important for me to apply to U.S. colleges? And so the Travis already answered in the text. It is not a requirement. It is an aspect that can make your application stand out among a very highly qualified applicant pool. If you do not have volunteer opportunities, you might consider discussing the ways that you lead, work, or help out in your local community. Does anyone want to add anything? No? Okay. So the third question, what is electronic portfolio? And the electronic portfolio is a digital collection of your work that is easily accessed by the potential employers. It is similar to a website, but focused solely on your work rather than the web design. So another question, do you have many Asian students in your school, and are there plenty chance of international students to win scholarships? And so the answer was yes, international students have plenty of opportunities for scholarships. 100% of current international students at Virginia Wesleyan University have earned scholarship and merit aid packages. So what about at Georgia State?
So all our international students are at Honors College are receiving guaranteed when they first come through admissions office, which is from $8,000 to $19,000, and as long as they keep a 3.0 GPA, and they will continue receiving for the 4 years they are here. In addition to that, we also have our centennial. We also have presidential, which is 10 candidates after, the 250 qualified pool from the pool. So, but the 10 students will receive full tuition covered, and also in addition, they will receive a monthly stipend to cover, and also they will have stipends for housing and meals as well.
Thank you. So the next question, do most U.S. universities have honors college or programs? There are a lot of honors programs. There are only 150 honors colleges in the U.S. Another question, could you please tell me how to find 150 honors colleges in the state? And the answer was a National
Collegiate.
Its honor council has a comprehensive list. So another question. I have not received any awards, especially in the academic area. Is it still possible for me to apply to U.S. universities? Virginia Wesleyan University has a rolling admissions process, so you still have opportunities for tuition scholarship and merit aid packages. So what about in the Georgia?
Yeah, we also have rolling admission policy. However, for the honors college, the scholarship, if they want to come to the honors college with the scholarship, the deadline is very strict. It's March 1st.
Thank you. So another question about recommendation letter. When my teacher writes my recommendation letter in Japanese, is it okay for my English teacher to translate it? Do you ask for the original letter, Japanese, to be submitted? And for the Virginia Wesleyan U, yes, please submit both. And what about in Georgia?
Yeah, we can accept Japanese as well, because we do have people can read Japanese on our campus, and we do have student ambassadors to help us as well. But if there's an English version, that will be much appreciated, because I will send it to the committee. I think a lot of committee would like to see an English version for sure.
Okay, thank you. So other questions. So is Perimeter College a community college? So this is for the Georgia State U, I think.
Well, that's a very good question, actually. We even internally trying to figure it out. So we don't call it community college, we call it the pathway campus. However, it is, if you would technically, they do offer, 2-year associate degree. So technically it is a community college, but students actually have a transfer guaranteed program. For example, Georgia State does not offer engineering program. So we have a transfer guaranteed with our, sister or brother institutions such as Georgia Tech, UGA. As long as the students are in the pathway programs, they will stay at Georgia State for 1 year or 2 years. Once they meet the requirement, they can transfer to other Georgia USG institutions. So yeah, you can see that. But we're not strictly asking students to be there for 2 years. We even have students during the COVID time being there only for 1 semester. Once they meet the academic criteria, or if they're thinking, they have saved enough money. Actually, most our international students choose to go to the Perimeter College, even they are qualified for the Atlanta campus criteria, is because it saves them 2/3 of their tuition. The tuition at the Perimeter College is only $8,690 a year. So that is significantly lower for many students, especially students from the country. Like we have a lot of Nigerian students, we have a lot of Indian students, Pakistan, Nepalese. So many regions are preferred to go to the Perimeter. The only drawback, which is the challenge, is housing. At the Perimeter College, students are living off-campus apartments, which is about 15 minutes away. But if they come to the main campus at the Honors College, they do live on campus in their special suite.
Thank you. So next question. So if you have any questions, please type in the Q&A box. We still have time to answer the question. So please feel free to write it in the Q&A. So the next question. Do you recommend to have a car? How is the public transportation around your area? So Mandy,
Sure, I can sort of answer that. I work with all of our international students. Transportation, I'll be honest, is not the best. We have public transportation, but it takes a while to get from point A to point B. But what we do for our students is we automatically put them with an American roommate from the minute they get there, so that they have a connection to someone who typically has a car. And we've found that basically anytime a student needs to go somewhere, the store, the beach, wherever, all they have to do is ask. Also, a lot of times, international students are very welcome on our campus. So other students will say, hey, we're going here, let's go. And so they pretty much go anywhere with them, or they can ask. And then we also do a weekly shopping trip for the students so they can get to the store. So they find ways to get around, because we also have domestic students who don't have cars. So it's pretty easy for them to find ways to get around. And again, everything's located on campus. So for the most part, they don't necessarily have to go off campus much during the week. So, they are only going off for other types of things.
so how about in Atlanta? It's big city, so I assume the public transportation is pretty good.
Well, is better, I think, than Virginia Wesleyan. Sorry to see that, but compared with Asia, especially Japan, I've been there several times. There's no way, not even near. I would say maybe 1%. We have MARTA, which is our subway. We also have MARTA Express buses. We have Uber, a lot of things, and the students, they are on campus because we are downtown. They do scooter around, and also we have on-campus bus lines to bring students from point A to point B. However, compared with that convenience, you want to go to like a Target, you want to go to, grocery shopping, you have to make special arrangements. That is just not easy because you cannot have direct bus line. We just don't have that. You have to make arrangement either by Uber but like Mandy said, we also have a lot of international buddy visa leaders that they are, American students would love to take on. Right now, I think with the K-pop, with everything, Asian students are super popular on campus. Everybody wanted to, when they see you, they say, are you from Korea? Are you from Japan? Are you from this and this? And they were like, can we talk? And actually we have a Japanese class. I was so surprised. Actually, we also have consulate in Atlanta, and they hired Georgia State students. There was one student who wanted to study in Japan so badly. He self-taught before he moved to Georgia State as a transfer student. He also self-taught himself intermediate level. The way how he did it is by finding Japanese students on campus to practice. So you might be stopped by, there are students going to say, can you practice Japanese with me? I really want to, in exchange, they would love to, help you out as well. So making friends is absolutely, the best thing and the benefits to be a U.S. college campus.
Thank you. Travis, would you like to add something?
As far as transportation, or I was ready to talk about one of the second questions here. What aspects do you consider most important in a student application to honors colleges? And I think that each honors college has a very basic minimum entrance requirement. So if you don't meet those entrance requirements, you should not apply. We wouldn't ask you to sort of waste your time to do that. Because we do sounds like in both of our cases, I don't want to speak for Georgia State, and I'll let them pieces say that as well. But we're looking for the best of the best because the opportunities we provide the honors students are top level, and lots of our, and like I said, over 100% of our most recent class were actually employed or in graduate schools of their choosing 1 month before graduation. And so these students are very driven and very much interested in those opportunities that the honors colleges provide. And so if you do not meet those minimum requirements, that's probably the the first step. Once you've done that, most honors colleges have a committee, and ours is the same way. And we have a holistic process. So we're looking at everything and weighing it in tangent. And then we actually, once you have passed that initial screening, we invite you to compete for a seat in the honors college through an interview process. And that for international students is virtual. And we have you interview with current faculty, current honors college students, and as well have opportunities to discuss that. And currently, we have about 10% of our honors college are composed of international students. So we really welcome those, and those international students are thriving, and several are in Hawaii right now with one of our other short-term abroad courses, working and studying, and a couple are actually in Belize with tropical rainforest scientists. So we really are looking to provide our honors college students with the top opportunities. And so we're looking for those top students. So that's kind of what differentiates an honors college specifically from an honors program. And honors programs have lots of opportunities, but rarely are they kind of geared towards very specific students as an honors college might be.
Pete, would you like to add something?
Yeah, I am so glad that Travis mentioned that. Yeah, honors college is a great opportunity, but not everybody can make in. Sorry, we have not made this very clear. We made it so easy everybody can get in. Actually, it is a very competitive process. As I said, 7% of the applicants made it every year, and that require high GPA. A panel actually have to read the application, go through the interview. If it's a presidential, there is an essay, there's an application, and there's on-site, and now we can do Zoom. So there's so many steps that you have to go through. Once you made it, yeah, congratulations. You basically step up into more, further broad opportunity, but to get in, the first step is very difficult. 3 things I want to mention. Number 1, making sure the deadline. You have to apply as soon as possible. Don't say, oh, your deadline is March 1st. Don't wait until March. Don't wait until February. If you get everything ready, apply as soon as possible. And number 2, always making sure GPA is not everything, but that's fundamental. If you don't have it, for us, every year is different, but if you don't have a 3.7 GPA, the chance for you to get in is kind of very slim. However, we do have students have 3.6 GPA made in, because they're from a very rigorous school in Japan. And so he took SAT and almost did a 1480, and then we made him in. So it's depending on, GPA is not everything. If you have other, supplemental like awards, leadership experiences, anything providing to us, we definitely consider that into the admission criteria as well. Recommendation letter, your common application school report, we look at that as well. So the number 3 is also making sure you have to present yourself well. When you write the essay, making sure highlight yourself, not just do the traditional way. Try to, identify why we want you, what you can bring to the university, how highlights your personal ability, not your academic achievements only. What as a person, what as a student, that is a potential. We're looking for your potential, not only what you have accomplished, so that when we bring you to the campus, we can develop you, make you shiny even more. So for you, a brighter future. That's what the honors college is different from any other regular, admitted students. So if you're one of them, please do apply. We're looking forward to hearing from you.
And I would also say, someone had mentioned they don't have volunteer opportunities where they live. I mean, you can be involved in student organizations, clubs, other types of things, and potentially show leadership experience with those. So it's leadership, as Travis had said, leadership, our volunteer experience is just one type of thing. So you can do it in other ways, even in a job, you could show leadership experience and different types of things like that, or even in working on a group project, or, again, as P said, it's how you present yourself. So being able to articulate that is very important. So that may mean, talking to someone else and getting some help and being able to pull those pieces out.
Thank you. So probably this is the last question. Okay, I don't know where you go.
I think it went to the bottom.
It went because I answered it. Sorry, yes.
Thank
I was sorry, I was typing quickly. I apologize.
you.
The answer
So-
is yes, all majors are open to honors college students. In fact, it's really the outcome of a really strong honors college. Actually, it involves majors from across campus. It's truly interdisciplinary. So you get a wide variety of people. And so you'll meet people from various different types of academic work that end up being your professional network when you move into the job in the outfield. So you might know an up and coming scientist that you need to work for a business project, or you need a business person to come in and help you write grants or those types of things. And your honors college becomes your first professional network. And that's another critical aspect to honors colleges and why there's such a unique opportunity, especially in the United States.
Thank you. So it's almost at the end of the session. Any last words from all the speakers? Maybe starting from Pete and Gina.
Go ahead, Jenna.
I just wanted to thank you all for allowing Georgia State to be a part of this panel. I hope to meet all of the students who have showed up today in person very soon, and that you consider Georgia State and Georgia State's Honors College as a potential future for your academic career. And we're very grateful to have been able to participate. We're very grateful that you have also joined us today. And thank you, yes.
So I just want to quickly mention, I've been working higher education, working in different institutions in the past. I see especially students from Asia, the number one they're looking at is ranking. You always want to do ranking. That's why you're looking for honors college, that you want to see the list. But also I personally really wanted to making sure we have students actually graduate from different universities. And for our students, they're not even in the honors college, finished like last fall. And right now is attending master at Harvard University. So it's not where you start. Of course, starting point is very important. It's also where you're going to land the next one. So when you're looking for university, not only looking at their ranking, but most important, their major, and also if you can find a community, build your community and do your research and talking to the students. We'll be happy to share our campus resources, do a virtual guide tour online with you, share the other international students' experiences with you. Do not hesitate to ask. So I think that's very important. When I first came to the US, actually, one of the airline checking ticket counter representative told me, she said, this phrase I never forget, is called speak into the existence. I wish these words make sense to you all. You have to speak, you will find. So go find the best, community and also the best for yourself. Good luck.
Thank you.
I'll let Dr. Malone, Travis go first.
Yeah, I think that the fact that you're on this call with all of us says a little bit about your curiosity and drive. And I wish that you take that continued curiosity forward into all your education, wherever you choose to attend. And it is really in the US, it is about the student more so than any rankings. There are lots of places and lots of degrees, but the only one at the end of the day, there's only one name on the degree, and that is yours. And so you must do what you do where you go. And so finding the place that works best for you is first and foremost in your best interest. So there are exceptional programs all throughout the United States. Each of them are very unique, and we encourage you to take the time to look at those programs and use that curiosity that you've used to stay on this call to take to those programs and look and find the program that works best for you. We'd be happy to connect you with our Japanese students on campus as well. And we also have a sister campus in Tokyo. If you're interested in more information on that, you can find that at our VW Global campus on our website. And we really strongly encourage you to do that. And I thank you for your time and dedication to your academic pursuits.
And just to follow up with that, I would say that even if you're not sure if you meet the criteria, or if you're not sure about the rigor, or if you'll do well in an honors college, just reach out and ask. And there are more people willing to talk to you than you can even imagine, whether it's students or staff or faculty, and they'll be more than happy to tell you about the program and talk to you about your options, whether it's in the honors college or not. So, as Dr. Malona said, just being on here is a first step, and, reaching out beyond that to talk about your current place and where you're at is probably the next one. And I encourage you to do that wherever that may be with these institutions or others. So just kind of keep that curiosity going and see where it takes you.
So thank you. Thank you again, Gina, Pete, Travis, and Mandy. Especially Gina, Pete, and Travis. Thank you so much for staying up late and joining this session. Thank you so much. And the participants, thank you also for participating. And I hope that you learned a lot from this session. If you have any questions, please contact EducationUSA, or about each institutions, please contact them directly. So thank you, and have a good evening to the speakers, and have a great day for the participants. Thank you so much.